Now, obviously, you will all be asking yourselves questions about what is going to change as a result of both the vote to leave the European Union and the Prime Minister's decision to resign and a leadership election which will give us a new Prime Minister and a new Cabinet in October. And it would be foolish of me to pretend to be able to give you complete certainty in answer to those questions. But I hope I can reassure on some important points. The first is that the commitment of the Conservative Party and of everyone in it and in every wing of it to apprenticeships and to investment in further skills development more broadly is absolute. This is not an issue on which there is division between the left and the right of the Conservative Party, between those who were in favour of leaving the European Union and those who were in favour of staying. Boris Johnson is passionate about apprenticeships and skills development, so is Michael Gove, so is Theresa May, so are all of the leading figures, and indeed every newly elected MP. It is one of the most popular subjects for members of Parliament within their constituencies to be promoting employers, training providers, and the young people and people in mid-career who are undertaking apprenticeships. So I think it is inconceivable that the Conservative government that will be reformed after October will dilute in any respect its commitment to apprenticeships specifically and skills development in general. The second point I'd make, and in this I'd like to applaud what the Chief Executive, the new Chief Executive, to whom I congratulate to his new position, Mark Boles, said when the vote on the European Union was announced, which is that, if anything, the need to invest in skills development and in boosting the productivity of our workforce will be even more urgent and even more important for a United Kingdom that is outside the European Union than it is for one that is inside. Certainly no less, and I think that Mark makes an important and valid point in saying that it will be even more important. If we are going to be living on our wits as an independent trading nation, then we need to have a highly skilled and highly flexible workforce. And the work that you do in delivering training both through apprenticeships and through other courses and through traineeships is absolutely vital. So I think that it is possible for all of us to see that the likely level of commitment to the apprenticeship programme in particular and to skills development in general, if anything, is likely to increase. Now I want to address something that I'm sure that many of you will be aware of that I speculated about immediately before the referendum, and that is what will happen in terms of the timing of the introduction of the apprenticeship levy. And I don't think you will have had a chance to have listened to the Chancellor's statement this morning. But he was very clear that there is not going to be a sudden need for an emergency budget, that the Office of Budget Responsibility will be analysing the public finances and the state of the economy in the autumn, and then the new Prime Minister and the new government will be able to consider whether any changes to public expenditure and taxation plans are required in the light of those conditions. But we should continue to assume, and we should all continue to work, and certainly my officials and the rest of government will be continuing to work on the basis that the apprenticeship levy is coming in April of 2017 as planned, at the level planned, in the way planned, applying to those businesses who have a payroll bill of more than £3 million a year. We had planned to be publishing further detailed information about the pricing of specific apprenticeship standards in the next few days. I'm sure that you will understand that that is now going to be a little delayed, but only a little. We still expect to get that information out well before the summer break so that people can respond to it, tell us where there are things that you feel that we have got wrong, with a view to then confirming those funding rates in the autumn. So the plan is still one that we intend to follow in every important respect, but there will just be a minor delay to that particular publication that we had expected this week. I'd just like to then briefly move on to the question of area reviews. They, of course, will continue to go ahead on the basis plan in the different waves planned. And the observation that I would make is that I think that they have been going surprisingly well from my point of view. I'd expected it to be more painful, more quickly than it has proved to be, but I don't want to be naive or overconfident. I know that they are going to throw up many significant challenges in some parts of the country, and we will work through them. But the commitment to the area review process, the commitment to providing financial support for restructuring by colleges in the sector remains absolute, and we want those area reviews to do what they were originally intended to do, which is to create a strong and sustainable infrastructure of training provision throughout the country. We will also be going ahead soon, I cannot give you a particular date, but again before the summer recess, with the publication of the Sainsbury Review, that I do understand that some of you have gleaned some details of it before its formal publication. But we will be going ahead with the publication of that review and of the government skills plan. And that too will not change in any important respect as a result of recent events. Similarly, the devolution of the adult skills budget to those combined authorities that have agreed devolution deals with the government, and to those future authorities that conclude similar such deals, that too will go ahead as planned, and there is no reason to believe that any change in the leadership of the government will produce any fundamental change in those plans. And so that all leads me on really to the one central proposition I wanted to make to you in this room. I understand that there is a great deal of change going on in the world in which you operate and trade. And for businesses and social enterprises involved in providing training, such change is a source of uncertainty and sometimes anxiety, and I do understand that. But I do believe that it is absolutely clear that there are some very, very fruitful rivers for you all to be fishing in. The river of apprenticeship funding is a river that is going to grow. There is simply no question about that. There is going to be a great deal more money going into apprenticeship training over the next few years than has been the case in the last few years. The river of funding for adult education is secure, was secured in the budget, and is going to be devolved to local areas who will be able to commission it on the basis of outcome agreements from local colleges and other providers like yourselves. The extension of advanced learner loans to a greater range both of students and of course levels. That too will continue and will create again an expanded river of opportunity for you to operate in.